Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting and emotional episode of Age of Wonders 4, where I will laugh, I will cry, and I will probably complain about bad RNG. I am Bob, back for some more Age of Wonders content here as we continue our game with Jormag and attempt to stop Purple's invasion. I want to jump right into the comments for this episode, and I do want to mention that hopefully I'm hoping this episode can be a little bit longer than the last one. I don't really have as much going on today, so I'm hoping I can play a little longer. Maybe not quite 2 hours long, but we'll see how it goes. I've got feedback from Chris Lighthawk. Actually, Chris Lighthawk kind of stole the show with the comments this week. There's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good feedback from Chris Lighthawk, and also one from I think this was Jim Bro. But I'm not 100% sure. I apologize if I get this wrong. YouTube is being very strange with usernames because it's showing me everyone's handles and not necessarily like their username or whatever. It's been really weird lately. I don't know what's going on. I think this is Jimbo Bro, but I apologize if I am misattributing this. But in any case, mention that the bathhouse would be a good thing to look at to push me to the next level of happiness. It is something that I probably do want to pick up. The bathhouse gives you a nice big chunk of happiness, and that would definitely, it's like 40 city stability, and it would push me easily to the next level. I'm at 29 now. That would make it 69, and then it's very close to 80 at that point. Plus, I'm getting little bits as I move on. I think though, because like every time, because of the perfectionist artisan trait I picked, I get a little bit of city stability for every building I make. So I'm earning a little bit as we go, but I'm also using it up a little bit as we go due to population size, because it actually goes down based on your domain, which how big your city is. So I will have to kind of keep a balance on that, but it would be nice to at least get it into that middle section of orderly. For 5, it'd be a total. In total, it'd be a 5% bonus. Well, it'd be a 10% bonus towards research income. I'm currently getting a 5. So yeah, apologize if I'm sneezing or stuffy nose kind of symptoms. We're getting into fall, and it's my allergy season, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, all the other feedback from this week comes from Chris Lighthawk, and there's a lot of good stuff I want to talk about. The bathhouse I just mentioned will not be the next thing I build, but it is definitely on the list. But there's something else I've been missing that I want to bring up. First things first, though, Chris Lighthawk did clarify outposts are 7 hexes and operate the same way that cities do in terms of like which units are guarded by the outpost and like how the siege works and everything. So yeah, if I was to position these units correctly, I would have had them all on the outpost or all at least 2 spaces away from the center of the outpost, which I did not do. I think I may have gotten lucky on the last turn that the computer didn't take advantage of that, because I believe this stack would have been vulnerable if the system works the way that I understand that it does. The AI is smart enough to split off smaller, faster units to initiate battles in their favor. That's another thing to watch out for. And similar to what I'm going to do in this episode, the AI is perfectly capable of doing that as well if the units are set up correctly. But basically, trying to let's say you got a stack like this, and it's a few guys with 32, but a couple with 40. The AI is smart enough to, if it thinks it can get the advantage, split off a unit from a faster unit to initiate the battle if it really wants to. Again, also all from Chris Lighthawk. Remember to use Zone of Control to lock down enemy ranged units. Zone of Control, the way it works in this game, it's much easier to pin down a unit, especially against like an obstacle or something, because the unit is forced to move from one tile in your Zone of Control to another tile in an enemy's Zone of Control. It can't do anything on that turn. If it's like a range unit, it's just stuck. And that would have been very useful against the Spellbreakers in the battle in Astral Anchorage in the last episode. There was a couple times I could have pinned one down, and I didn't position my units correctly to do it, but that's something I need to keep an eye out for. The Doom Depth Trench would be very useful right now. Should build that ASAP. That is the next thing that I'm going to be building in my capital city, is the Doom Depth Trench here, because I have some amount of evil alignment already. Excuse me. I am very evil, so I'm going to be getting... let's see, +3 mana to knowledge for each alignment level below neutral. So I'll be getting 16 mana out of that and 16 knowledge. That's an incredibly powerful upgrade to build, especially considering my current needs of desperate need for mana. That's something I should build very soon. So I'll be working on that as soon as the Runecarver's camp is done. I think what I'm going to do is I've kind of got a plan, and I don't want to go into all the details because it's just too much information, but I do have a plan for how I'm going to be setting up all the provinces in the city. The Doom Depth Trench I think makes most sense to put here, so I'm probably on the next turn, once the cost of this goes down and the Runecarver's camp is done, I will go ahead and buy the next upgrade to city size and build it on that spot right there. I think that seems like a good place for it. And then let's see. And then finally, from Chris Lighthawk advised me to send Bram's army west to Searspire now. I'll heal on the way and during the siege, and considering that I heal faster in enemy territory now, due to whatever that upgrade was that I just picked up. I think it was this one. Yeah, Dark Vigor. It makes more sense to kind of be aggressive with Bram's army than fall back. So that's exactly what Bram's army was going to do. We're going to start with this move right now. And actually, you know what? There is something I want to do with them, do elsewhere first. So I had a good long look, and I think this is where we're going to start this episode. We've got huge armies here that purple is sending my way. My plan was basically to just kind of YOLO rush in, take out a lot of these guys in easy battles because of their poor formation, and then leave the rest of these guys more vulnerable. But the problem is the way the units are set up here. Even if I was to say, let's see, where's a good example for this? Say I was to split this scout off and go attack there. You see how it's not pulling, because if it was pulling the strongest stacks in, attacking this guy would pull this person in. But this person can't be pulled into the battle because they are currently standing on the outpost itself. They're basically behind the outpost walls. Like I was talking about earlier, the outpost walls do extend 7 tiles, not just this one where the outpost is, which is why it's pulling in that 3 stack instead of that 6 stack. So basically what I can do is I can clean out all these guys up here, but the problem is, even if I do that, these guys are still a big enough army to do some serious damage if they were to swarm me afterwards. I don't think the quality of their units is quite on par with mine. There's a lot of tier 2s, and I'm starting to get more tier 3s, but it's still big enough to be scary. So the way I think I'm going to approach this is, because of how poorly they've set up their stacks here, I am going to... I just need one good battle here, basically. So what I'm going to do is move the armies that I can up here and try to get, like, my best units, is essentially what I'm going to do. I'm going to get 2 stacks of my best units plus 1 scout, because the scout's faster and in a better position to initiate these combats. And I'm going to try to position my armies probably here and here, and have the scout run ahead to hit this guy, and then try to run away. Because I don't want all of those stacks swarming me on the next turn. If I move a full stack up and then attack with the scout, I won't be able to pull everyone back, because as you can see, these guys have quite a reach of movement that they can do, only not being able to reach these forest tiles, which is something I could back up into if I needed. But if I move my armies all forward enough, I don't think I could back up into those forest tiles like I would want to. So we'll see if I can position it well enough to where I could do that, but I'm not convinced that I can. I want to try to get these armies to fall back into this territory after this battle if I can. So I need to form basically my 2 best possible fighting stacks, and then have a scout. And those 2 best fighting stacks are most certainly going to be Jormag's group, so I think we can go ahead and safely move them up, and I think I might position them even a little bit further ahead. We may drop the Sunderer. Let's see. Can we get a better unit in? We've got another Berserker there. I can probably drop that tier 1 warrior or the Razorback. I don't really care that much about... I think the warrior might actually be better because of their stun ability and the defense mode. I think they have a bit more utility. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually keep the warrior. And then I don't really need more than 2 shamans in on this, I don't feel like. But I'm definitely going to want at least one of those. So let's go ahead and split one of them off. And if I move through that territory, I do save a little bit of movement. As for Jormag's army, I think they look fine the way they are, minus maybe the Sunderer. So we'll leave the Sunderer behind for now and move all of the rest of them up there, and then we can kind of get a sense of how far I can move. So they could, at this point, move back to the outpost if they need to. Maybe I can get 3 full armies in here and still safely be able to retreat all of them. It might be possible, because I think if I move these guys here, let's focus on getting these 2 stacks set up, and then we can worry about the others. I want... Let's see, I definitely want you. Probably want you here, actually. So you have to move a little bit further on account of your extra unit movement. That makes more sense since you were closer already. And then it's a matter of the best units that I can get out of these stacks. So we definitely want the 2 ice witches. So we're going to put them there. And then whoever the next best 3 units are, it's probably going to be these 3, I think. Yeah, we'll put those 3 up there now. Everyone should be able, in these stacks, should be able to get back to safety. The problem is... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get all 3 stacks, because the problem is that if I was to try to move another full stack up, they'd have to make it as far as the scout, and I don't think they could do that and still make it back to the safety of my territory. Actually, the Sunderer might. I think I might be able to do this with everyone except for the Razorback, actually, now that I look at it, because the Sunderer has extra movement. So if I wouldn't be able to do it for the second battle, but the second battle is going to only be against 2 units, so that doesn't really matter. Let's test this. Yeah, the Sunderer can get out of range. They won't be able to get... Actually, the Sunderer will be fine. Yeah, the Sunderer could move to that tile and nothing will be able to reach it, so... I think that actually works okay. And then this guy, because he had to move less, I think he should be fine too. This is very... very tricky. He might be in trouble, actually. We'll see. I probably will put him here after the battle. I don't think the Razorback will make it. I think he's too far away, so... But both these scouts could be in here. Okay. I think this is the best I can do, which is actually better than what I was thinking originally. So I think we're good. Do I want to cast a spell here? Because I do have Blizzard, but I don't know that it's really necessary here. I think it might be a little bit overkill. Now I think we'll just go into this one as it is. We can try the auto, but considering we're in snowy area that I'm not going to heal in, I kind of don't think I'm going to accept this unless it is really a good outcome. It's a pretty good outcome, but it's not a really good outcome. Although I can back off most of my units, and I didn't lose anybody. You know what? I think I'm going to take this just for the sake of saving time. Yeah, I'm gonna accept that. Close that. I believe I took out a hero in there, so let's make sure to check. Oh wait, no I didn't. Okay. That's fine. And then what I'm going to do is this should pull in my 2 big stacks. This one should be an easy auto. And of course, you know what? That's just embarrassing. No, we're not. Of course, I'd lose a unit in the battle against 2 units, not the battle against 10. Probably just didn't... He could have died from environmental damage. We'll get some healing in there, man. You too, in fact, Jormag. All of you. Heal up. Now pull them over and try to give even a little bit more healing. Yeah, I had a change of heart about whether I would accept heavy damage in that battle or not. simply because I'm pretty sure most of these armies can make it back to my outpost, where they will heal very quickly. Okay, that guy is going for that group over there. Chance to stun, but it's not great. Chance to freeze should be better. And I've got 2 evokers over here. I think I can... I keep calling them evokers. They're not evokers. They're white witches. I think I'm just going to go for the freeze. I got multiple chances at freezing and stunning. I'm going to take those chances. I got it. Okay, good. I don't think he's in range of anything else. Okay, they've got him handled. I'm pretty sure that this Berserker should be able to handle a little Archer. And I'm going to have... Well, it doesn't really matter what I do at this point, other than keeping the weak units away from anything that could potentially kill them, and providing defense elsewhere. I really do apologize for the sniffles. It's embarrassing on camera, but there's not really anything I can do about it this time of year. It's getting into the fall in the Midwest, and I just don't handle harvest season very well. Although it depends on what they're harvesting. I don't know if they've even gotten into full swing with that yet, but I do not handle that time of the year very well by any means. Alright, let's see if we can get another freeze so we can avoid attacks of retaliation. I'm getting lucky with those. I'll take it. And this guy should be dead. Okay. Alright, little archer. Okay. So, I'm glad I didn't have to do that all manually, because I was really not looking forward to the tedium of that battle. Now, I think this scout is essentially being sacrificed at this point. And I wasn't really expecting him to make it out of this. That's okay. I can get everybody back. Yeah. So you guys can get back there. You guys can make it back. This guy, the Sunderer, can make it here, where I already kind of figured was probably safe. This guy is a bit of a question mark, but I think he'll probably be alright. For now, I'm going to get him onto that tree. I don't think they can quite reach that spot. And this guy is possibly kind of screwed. I'm going to send him up the road. I think he's going to get picked off, but that's okay. Considering the amount of damage I did, losing a scout is not a big deal. So I think that's about as good as it gets. I guess I can split that scout off and get him out of there. And I think he's safe. I don't think anyone can quite reach that guy unless they are smart enough to split off a unit. We'll see. They might just not do that at all. They may calculate that the risk of running in here is too great. But the good news is I took out that army and managed to get Jormag's group back where they can heal pretty quickly. Hopefully that slows them down, which is all I really need to do, because moving back this direction, we can continue to push. And Bram's army is going to kind of lead the way here from Astral Anchorage. Again, you can see I'm healing pretty well in enemy territory. Not as well as I do in my own, minus the snow, but pretty good. Jormag leveled up. What do we want today? I want to keep just dumping stuff into this dragon stuff, because dragon stuff is fun. Also, I'm level 8, so I get another signature skill upgrade too. What did I get from my last one? Nature aspect, 20 hit points, and watchful. Let's see what my options are here. Dang, that one could be really handy right now. I don't think it'll be quite as useful once I'm no longer dealing with the constant snow damage, but it's good. I don't really want to turn Jormag into a damage sponge, so I'll pass on Warding Bond. Reckless Rage, probably not. No, I don't want to risk Jormag dying. That is a buff for my nearby units. Rallying Blessing friendly units in 1x radius gain rally bolstered defense. And then Dark Ritual. I kind of think I might just do the healing. The only problem is I generally don't want to use a turn of Jormag to do healing, but that is a lot of healing. That's potentially a huge amount of units. I think that's probably worth picking up. Plus it gives me more perks in the nature tree line, which is a very good... Let me check my Empire Development skill tree. Yeah, I'm kind of slow moving down this line, but eventually I'm definitely going to want to get that one, Expansive Reach. I'm definitely going to want to get that one, and that one. There's a lot in the nature line that I really want. So I think that when in doubt, I'm probably going to take the nature option, and that's what I'm going to do here. Okay. And then for my own upgrade, what do we want? I don't really like that second upgrade to Tail Swing. I like the stun chance, but I don't like the displacement. A lot of times I don't really want to knock units back. I would rather have Jormag end their turn right next to them. Quicken Breath, that could be very good. That could be very good, especially when compared with the Cloud in a Bottle, which is a 2-turn cooldown. What's the cooldown of my breath attack, Dragon Breath? That's a 2-turn. Okay, that... it currently matches with the water bottle, so that's probably pretty good. Maybe I will pass on that for now. That would be good, economically. Just getting 15 knowledge and 20 city stability now, which would instantly put my city stability into orderly. That one's a good buff, but I'm not really trying to buff. I'm not trying to turn Jormag into a buffer, I'm trying to turn him into a fighter. So I think what it's going to be is either Dragon Scales for the extra defense, Draconic Health just for general hit points, which is always good, or Ancient Governor for the city upgrade. I think we're going to stick with the fighting dragon aspect and go with one of these two, Draconic Health or Dragon Scales. I think, let's do the health first. And then maybe actually, you know what? Let's do the scales, because I'm still taking frost damage every turn, and this will help reduce that. Also, I'm fighting a feudal enemy right now, which means less magic and more physical damage, so having the extra defense is actually pretty good. And Jormag's already got a really big pool of health, so we'll do Dragon Scales. That gives me some frost resistance, which makes sense on an ice dragon. And a little extra defense to deal with physical attacks. I like that. I think that's good for now. Searspire sent a war party. Well, that's kind of lousy timing. Didn't really want to deal with that at the moment. Spell is ready. Orders ready. Okay, I think we're good. That scout's probably dead, but he's far enough away from the shaman to avoid drawing him in the battle. And maybe if I'm lucky, they'll move these armies recklessly and end up in a poor position. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I drop a quick save so I don't crash and lose progress from everything that happened this turn. I'm pretty happy with how this all went. wouldn't mind if he just held ground and waited for reinforcements, which it looks like he's doing. Nope, they're going to go for that scout. That's understandable. I didn't expect that scout to survive. We're going to do the manual combat so that I can run him away and maybe have a 50-50 that he gets out of this. Well, not maybe. I will have a 50-50 unless he tries to pick me off with a spell. I'm actually hoping he wastes magic casting spells on his own guys. Or her own guys. Nope. Alright, let's... Oh, the penalties for this seems... Oh no, wait, I think it's just clarifying. I don't remember this pop-up here, having all this detail. Yep, if you lose the battle, unit will either die. Okay, so none of the rules have changed. I just never noticed that pop-up before. Okay, that scout's full dead, unfortunately. And they are still pushing to the capital. They are showing no signs of slowing down. Holy crap. Can you at least leave something in a poor formation for me? Kind of. Some of your warriors reportedly captured travelers peddling petty wares. Your warriors proved to be prisoner guards. Okay, what's the end goal here? Frost Citadel gains 33 city stability per turn, which would put me in orderly. Encourage your warriors to kick the traitors harder. This will give me more evil alignment. All units controlled by you gain increased morale. Is that permanent? Is that like a permanent upgrade? Because if it is, that's incredibly good. It's definitely not going to do the good character option. I'm going to try this one. I don't really know if that's a permanent upgrade or not, but it just says all units controlled by you gain increased morale minor. I just don't know exactly what that means in like a numerical perspective. Well, we're going to encourage my warriors to kick the traitors harder. And that also makes me more evil, which is good. I'm getting close to pure evil, I think. I have to get... No, pure evil is full 100. Okay, so I still got a little bit of work to go to get to that point. Alright, we have another opportunity here. Oh, it's going to pull that 4-stack in even if I attack from this side. Okay. Oh, I think we're going to have to do a decently tough battle here. Fortunately, I can bring in better units for this one, I think. As long as Jormag's army can reach that tile, which they can, I can get a lot more, because I got another Inquisitor here, so we can get better units in for this fight. I would like to wait and see where that war party is going to come through that they sent. So I think Bram's army might kind of hold ground there for the moment. So yeah, this turn's going to be more about what Jormag does, I think. Alright. So, I want to move you guys probably... Man, Jormag is still pretty injured going into this. Why is it... I guess it's counting this stack as being... Oh, because that stack has knights in it. Whereas the other one is just tier 2 units. And it's also got a hero. That's why it's considering this stack to be more powerful. Okay. Alright. In that case, what I'm going to do... I think I would very much like to attack that stack. So I think that would be an easier fight. And I think I can do that by putting Jormag here, moving this guy down. Can he reach that spot right there? I think he can. Oh, he just barely can't. Okay. That's fine. We'll just do it this way. I'm going to move this guy here. That guy there. And then Jormag's army is going to drop 2 of these and pick up those 2. So we're going to drop those guys, pick up these 2. Then I can move in. I need to move in another stack directly adjacent to those guys that has a little bit of extra movement to work with even afterwards. So probably, actually, it doesn't really matter because once I'm finished with this group, it doesn't matter what my formation is because they don't have more units to back these up. This is everything they've got that they're throwing at me. I'm going to move this guy up here. Yeah, right there. Move you, and you up to join them. Kind of trying to keep somewhat balanced unit distribution here. Got another shaman here, so we'll do this. Move them all up here. And my Razorback. And then let's see. Sunderer. And I guess we can even get the Scout in on this. That looks pretty good to me. Won't be the easiest battles, but I've got some healing. I think I can make this work. Alright, let's do this. So have the Sunderer launch the attack here, I think. We'll see what the auto says. If I get out of this with no losses, I'll probably take it. We're gonna have to retry that one. Alright, this looks like it'll be the probably big battle of the episode, unless Bram's in for a surprise. Got choke points to work with, so that's not too bad. This looks like bad positioning because of high ground, but high ground doesn't matter in this game. Unless you're on a rampart defending a city with archer battlements. Alright. I definitely want Jormag to get over with this group and heal with them because the group that Jormag is with is fine. Also, Jormag has... Oh, I do have that big mass rejuvenation thing too. So... And if I position my armies correctly, they'll be funneling a lot of enemies through the middle here. I could really do a lot with this, I think. What I want to do for this fight is pretty much get everyone together, I think. Because I've got lots of AoE healing options, and that's going to be useful in a battle like this. I probably should have dropped a blizzard on one of these groups, too. That was a mistake. I should have done that. I definitely should have done that. Make those freezes more likely to hit the knights would have been a good choice. We're basically relying on my units to be better than their units. I want to undo what you just did. I want you to end your turn next to Jormag. There you go. Damage for everyone. Might get them to use their healing with those bannermen at an inopportune time. Oh, they're already charging. Okay. Oh, nasty AoE there. Alright. Well, I don't mind them running those 2 ahead, because I think I can kill them pretty easily now. But he did do a lot of damage. Fortunately, it's damage that I'm pretty sure I can heal. So, it's not exactly the end of the world. And I have lots of opportunities to freeze them, including Jormag moving up using Cloud in a Bottle and then Ice Breath, which I probably should go ahead and do. I would like to, let's see, I want to move this guy forward, I think. Actually, can he move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces? I can move him 1, 2, 3, 4 and get him in there. Okay. I want to make a path for some other units here. Particularly you. Going here, because I want you to get strengthened. And I also kind of want you to get strengthened. Also, they're coming around my flank. Okay. Alright, what I'm going to do is use these guys to move forward a bit. No, not them. I want to use them to do this. Get that healing started on Jormag. Jormag, I think, might actually turn around and try to freeze all these knights. But if I fail, Jormag's going to be in trouble. I've got other units nearby that can kind of help, including this guy who has a stun chance. So I think I'm going to try to make use of that. So Jormag's going to deal with this group on the side here. Mostly because I'm already over here to deal with it. I could also spawn a spider as a distraction. But I think I'm just going to go straight for that Cloud in a Bottle. And, yeah, I'm going to go straight for that Cloud in a Bottle and then Ice Breath combo. I'm going to do it from this angle. That's going to push them a little bit, so it can disrupt AoE a bit. Yeah, see, now I can't quite get... Well, I still can if I go here. And I'm really extending Jormag quite a bit out, but I think it's worth it. Because I might be able to freeze all three of these guys. Slowed. Oh, wow, no freezes despite them being wet. Awesome. Okay, in that case, we're going to have to bring over some backup. I think I got a little unlucky there, but we'll try to make the most of it. If I can stun just one of these guys, probably the one furthest away would be the most useful. Dang. Even if all three hit Jormag, Jormag's not going to die. Alright, we'll do this. Knock out another one of your... I didn't quite knock out another one of his units there. Well, I think the three of them have those knights handled, so I don't want to devote too much attention to that. See if we can sunder that guy's defense. Okay, that should help a little bit. I need to start focusing on this center. The right flank should be covered. Well enough, anyway. I'm going to try to stun him. Okay, I did get the stun on him, I think. Double check. Yeah, he's stunned. Okay. So he's not a threat right now. Meaning I could move the Berserkers away from him and heal them, which I think is what I'm going to do. This guy, I think I want to just charge at him, but he does have retaliation first strike. So using a charge unit to do that actually isn't the best decision. Unless I can manage to stun him as well, which I wouldn't hold my breath on that. I think instead what I'm going to do is move these guys back. If I could get creative with this, I could heal multiple units multiple times, but I'm not sure if that's gonna really work. I think this is a good enough spot to launch one healing. I'm a little wary of these guys up here because they could be all over me on the next turn. So I'm just going to use one healing here for now. Strengthen all those units. And try... Let's see, get him over here. I could take a big chunk out of that unit right there. I think I'm going to. These guys, since they're stunned, I think this is a good opportunity to go in and try to sunder their defense a few times. I'm getting free hits, essentially. And then for this guy, I basically don't have a better plan besides just try to get lucky with a stunner or a freeze. Which is not really a position I wanted to be in, but I don't see a whole lot better options, so... Stun or a freeze or a bleed or something, just... There we go, we at least gave him a debuff. I do have spells that I can try to use against him. I just don't really want to yet. I've got both ice witches. And I need to get them out of harm's way. I think I'm going to put this shaman in the back here. We'll try to get a lucky poison on this guy. Okay, we got it. Just want to get these units out of here. This shaman's going to have units attacking him on the next turn no matter what I do, basically. Pathfinder, I just need him in the back somewhere. He's not really too relevant to all this. And I'm going to try a couple times to freeze that hero, if I can. Oh, I have blocked my Berserker away from the hero, unfortunately. That's not good. Didn't really want to do that. Alright, we're gonna have to try to get really lucky with this hero. I've slowed him. But he's resisting all the freeze attempts. Fortunately, that hero is going to basically be able to do whatever it wants on the next turn. And I don't think there's anything that I can do to stop it. Other than maybe trying an ice coffin. Let's see what that hero's capable of damaging on the next turn. A lot of damage to this... Is that a skirmisher or inquisitor there? A lot of damage to the inquisitor. But it's not going to kill anything. I think we wait. I think we wait here. And I'll move this guy... let's see, I think I'm going to want to move him over here, actually. Because this area is going to be swarming with any enemy units soon. There might be other spells that would be useful for me here. Mass Condemnation would be good. Actually, Condemned. Ooh, I should have done that earlier. Forgot about that. Maybe I'll wait because I can't really try to freeze anything on the next turn. But if I need another big AoE freeze, I need to remember I have that. Alright, I think I'm just going to let it roll this turn and see what happens. I don't think I'm in danger of losing anyone. Oh, maybe I am. Oh, well, the Berserker will just go nuts before he actually dies. but I won't be able to save him this battle. Yeah, he's just triggered Steadfast. Alright, they are really doing a lot of damage in that middle. Jormag needs to get over there. I could really use that big AoE healing. At least I took down the knight, because this guy just went nuts. I kind of need these guys to clean this up over here by themselves. So, without Jormag's help. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. Jormag could really use Terrifying Gorging right now, but it probably won't work. Oh good, a couple of them got frozen, I think, because they were wet, and that AoE that triggers map-wide, Arctic Blizzard, I forgot, that can freeze units too. So, that's good at least. See, am I going to take an attack of opportunity moving out of here? Because it's not showing me that I will. But I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. Well, this guy... Wait, is he frozen? Yeah, he's frozen. So, I'm free to move my Berserker around. And if he does do an attack of opportunity, I would have used it up there. So, Jormag is free to move. Unfortunately, Jormag can't heal anyone on this turn, but next turn, they can. And I can kill either one of these guys. Okay. That's good. Yeah, this is going to be one of those battles that not everybody makes it out on. But I think I can still do a respectable job here, at least. I should be able to kill that hero on this turn, and I really need to. They're doing a lot of damage. Just keep kind of body blocking it with other units is the annoying part. Keep sundering their defense. Keep trying to bleed. We will get them eventually. Alright, I want you up there. I need that Inquisitor up there too. They can do a lot of damage. Just need to kind of switch spots with some people around here. I think this Inquisitor could probably get the kill here now. Yeah, I can. Okay, hero down, morale lost. That's good for me. Might be able to kill him if I land the full hit. Okay, good. Need to get this guy out of harm's way for a bit. And might want to start piling units around Jormag for healing, if I can manage it. I want you here. And I want you in here. That's a good spot for you to stand, since you'll be able to heal on the next turn. Okay. I can move you here to provide defense to everyone. And then shoot at really whatever. Maybe try to get that guy off of me a little bit. Doesn't really matter too much here. I have no idea what time I started recording this morning, so we're just going to ballpark that. Yeah, I like the idea of putting him on defense mode right there. And then we'll just light this guy up with archers. Even if all it is a little scout. you can defend here. Protect Jormag and that Sunderer. You defend there. And since you've moved already, well, no, I want you to defend there. I think that's everybody. Okay. More Arctic blizzards. That was a dust storm. They may have blinded some units in that. Yeah. Poor Berserker fell in battle. But you know what? He did a good job. And unfortunately for him, he's easily replaceable. Okay, we're gonna keep just cutting these guys down. Those knights did not manage to do very much over there. Okay, now I want a big, good heal on all those units right there. Jormag can get a nice big heal on all these units. Oh wait, Jormag, oh, I forgot you can target this. It's not centered around Jormag. That's really good. Okay, we're gonna do that now. So much regen. That's what we need. Okay. That came in really handy. And we have multiple opportunities to freeze again, although I don't know if we'll actually need them here. A few of my units are blind, though, so I don't really have much better to do besides freeze stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and just use those. Okay, since he's frozen, that frees up her to freeze that guy. Inquisitor is going to kill basically whatever he wants. Or come darn close. There he goes. With the Sundering, he managed to get it. And I think you can run down. I don't really want you to flank him. Can I move away from them? I wonder why. I've already used up their slowed. Oh, maybe slowed prevents attacks. Oh, that's what it is. Slowed prevents them from doing retaliation attacks. Okay, well that works out nicely here. Okay. Who's next? I just want to keep them away from the gargoyle. So this spot here is safe to move into. I should be able to kill... can't quite kill, but come pretty darn close. There's got to be somebody still around here that can toss something at him and finish him off. Looks like you could. I think everybody else is good with that. Yep, we're going to end the turn there. They are close to routing. Oh my gosh, all the healing. Alright, Jormag is just about topped off on health. May as well fly over to the front line. The closer I can get to that big group over there, the better. I don't know what sort of weird Good gosh, the frame by frame on that up there was some weird acrobatics. Alright, I can finish this guy off. Actually, I'm pretty sure the Inquisitor can finish him off by himself, so I'm just going to move this guy over here, since these slowed units aren't a danger to me. Really loving those Inquisitors. Fill a really good role in this army. Okay, now Jormag's in the front, and I can't freaking see anything, because they're so big. Let's just hit them with a stun. I don't want Jormag to waste their time on them. Although there's not really anything else for Jormag to do here, so... Alright, fine. Just go ahead and smack him. Alright, the big group's coming this way, and I think I'm just gonna let them come. Maybe I can sort of draw them into a trap so they can't escape. If I kill that unit there on this turn, might be enough to trigger their morale to where they all panic and run. I don't want them to do that right now. I'd rather them come in a little closer. So we're gonna lure. I'm gonna set up a nice kind of concave formation here that they can walk right into the middle of and just get trapped. With some fast units kind of on the edge. Well, they're not really fast, but just set up kind of like this, I think. That looks good to me. I don't really feel like spending a whole lot more time setting up anything fancier than that, but I think this will work. Come on in. Figured they might go for those berserkers, but it matters little. Alright, I might not be able to track down everybody, but I can certainly try. Now is kind of when I want to trigger a route, I think. We'll have these guys up here to cut off the retreat of these two units, or what I think is about to be one unit. How much damage would you do? For some reason, that guy right there is holding on pretty effectively. May as well drop another healing. And I want you... Jormag's just going to be tied down over here for a little bit, it looks like. Because these guys are being a little stubborn. No slows. Don't need to bother with the... Well, actually, I will go ahead and use their shield bash now. I'm actually not going to kill anything over here on this turn. Mostly because the good damage dealing units are a little further back. But maybe I can freeze some stuff. Let's go for it on these guys. Okay, I managed to drop the freeze there. May as well drop another healing here. Okay, a couple good freezes. Surprised nobody died on this turn. But yeah, I just couldn't do the damage output necessary. These guys are really, really tanky, even despite... I mean, these guys still have 11 defense. What is going on? They got a bunch of bolstered defense, elite metal defense, shield defense, earthkin. Yeah, I guess it all kind of makes sense. I am pretty heavy on the physical damage side of things. Maybe I can land a poison. It'll help. Well, I guess this is fine. It just traps more of their units. I don't really want you taking a shot at either of them. Okay, that one I'm okay with. 70 is where I draw the line, generally speaking. And you, sir, can just chill out there and not do anything. Alright. Oh, I guess they are all retreating now. I didn't even notice the boots showing up above their heads. They're all gonna try to get out that way. No. I want to try to take out as many of these guys as I can. Can Jormag reach them with Ice Breath? I think I can get the... Oh, I can just get one. The others are just far enough away. That's a shame. Alright, well, we'll do what we can. I think I might be able to kill one more, but I think most of those guys are going to get away. Especially since some of my people are blind. Yeah, I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into this. They're too far out. The best I can do is probably move forward my White Witches and see if I can get freezes on a couple of them on the next turn. But as of this turn, it does not look good for me catching up. Not going to bother with him. And a lot of my archer units are blinded and have terrible accuracy right now. Although, I think the effect of the dust storm should wear off soon. Alright, that's good enough. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot more time on these guys. They are gonna run through the water, though, which will make them wet and slow them down. I should have waited and used Jormag's Ice Breath on this turn. Well, that's still interesting because I do have the freezes on the White Witches available. So maybe they won't all make it out of here alive. Also, I think the dust storm effect did wear off. So yeah, these guys might actually be in more trouble than I thought. I'm gonna take the ones that I have the higher chance of killing first, unless I can guarantee kill them on this turn. Got pretty good odds. Now in this case, a 65% shot I'm fine with because if I miss, I'm not going to hit friendlies. I think those guys are dead. Yeah, that one's dead. It might be that only one gets away. If I get a little lucky with the freezes. I got that one. And Jormag will be able to do another Ice Breath on the next turn, since I can close the distance here. This guy won't make it away. He's got to walk through the river. Unfortunate for him. Alright, we'll ignore him. Can't stop him, but these two I think are dead. Okay, he's stunned, so he can't move at all this turn anyway. And I'm not going to bring anybody else over. Alright, have fun. Bye. We'll see if he survived. But these two here are stuck. I'll just do the 65 there. I kind of want to get him out of the way so Jormag can do a big ice breath, but Jormag could also just go here and do a tail swipe for just about the same effect. I think I'm going to do that instead. And he's stunned again. Yep, they will not be making it out of this one. That's not a shot I'm comfortable taking. This one doesn't matter because it's just a wizard unit, so I can't hurt my own guys. That's pretty good. A lot better than what the auto combat did. And then it's just one stack of 6, which should be pretty easy to finish off. And another White Witch. Let's go ahead and replace the foreign Berserker we just lost on the next turn. Also, because we are on the next turn, I am going to go ahead and get that Doom Depth Trench up and going before I forget. I'm going to turn this into a quarry for the moment, but I'm going to replace that immediately. There we go. And now, who can move along with this guy? Are any stacks capable of full movement? No. So I'm going to be getting just 2 stacks in on this, plus whoever initiates the battle, which is fine. Jormag's group is fine. Let's add a couple to this army, as long as they've got a healer, which they do. Actually, 2 healers would be optimal, I think. And then just use the Sunderer to initiate the fight. This could maybe be one we can get away with the auto. No, I don't want to lose the Sunderer for no reason. Okay, everybody. Gather together. And let's get ready for a nice big group hug of healing and warmth. So much wholesome content on my channel. Actually, I can do a ton of healing here. It's going to be all temporary hit points, so it doesn't matter in the long run, but it'll certainly make everyone feel better for this battle. And it's going to be needed, apparently. Alright, this turn is all about healing and then positioning to block their advance. Let's do it. I want to move you guys back a little bit. I actually want you way back. And we'll just drop a heal here on that group. I want to drop a heal on this group. Actually, what I'm going to do is try to freeze a bunch of stuff with Jormag, I think. And then follow up with the White Witches. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is move Jormag up 1. And use this healing here. Although I may want to get the Berserkers in on this too. They just can't quite reach. They could if I did this. Kind of puts them in the back, which isn't really where I want them to be, but I would rather them have the healing than not. Okay, then Jormag can move up here. Use the Cloud in a Bottle. And then move here, I think. No, it can't move again, but I have a good chance to freeze stuff here. So I'm going to do that. Froze 1, slowed 2. Okay. Okay, froze that guy, and I think I can hopefully freeze that guy. Okay, he resisted, but most of the rest didn't. I'm okay with that. This guy needs to either run or stun that guy. I have a very good chance to stun him, so I'll take that, and I got it. Is there anything useful you can do? I want you to move up. These guys do a lot of damage. So I want them kind of up in the middle of the fight here. Got the stun on him, so he can't do anything on his next turn. You guys are out of movement. You can move up. We'll go ahead and take a swipe at that guy. You moving to the front line. And this guy here also heading kind of in that direction. Everybody here is stunned or frozen except for you, I think. So let's take a crack at that. There we go. Now literally everyone there is stunned or frozen. Jormag got probably a couple good tail swipe opportunities here. I think I'm going to go for one in the back. Alright, you would not take an attack of retaliation from that. I think I can pretty easily pick everyone apart here. Yeah, what I'm going to do is move Jormag here. Tail swipe these guys. It takes one out. And then I can safely use him to finish this guy off. Allowing the Berserkers to close the gap here. And put pressure on these guys in the back. The only one that I can't really do anything about is the frozen gargoyle back there. I don't think they can do anything until their next turn anyway. So we'll get the Inquisitor out front. Get these guys here to heal on the next turn. And then move the White Witches forward to set up some future freezes if I need them. And then you can just defense mode. I think we're good. I don't think they can do anything on this turn aside from him moving and taking a hit. Taking several hits, in fact. Nope. You come back here. Jormag is hungry. Oh, perfect. Frozen food. Actually, I want you to undo that. Just drop a healing here to prevent anyone from taking more frost damage. Actually, I don't think it matters because they all have temporary hit points anyway. Yeah, we're good. I'm just gonna end the turn here. This guy's not getting away. Just for the fun of it. Yum. Alright. That entire purple invading force has been picked apart in this one episode. That was a lot. I don't think I'm quite done yet. I think I can go a little longer. But pretty much everybody that was here is done moving, except for you. The rest need to work their way back down. I can probably split units up safely now. And just try to get everybody back down south as fast as I can. Anyone who can make it to that tile for faster healing probably should. My armies are just going to be in complete, total disarray and mess for a little while. But that's okay. Once again, all my units are migrating south for the winter. Okay, as for Bram's army, I know that they spawned a raiding party from Searspire. I don't know where it is. I think I'm going to have them stay here. Just to make sure Astral Anchorage doesn't get interrupted by some other group, and hopefully I can see that invading army on the next turn and have a chance to react to it. We did get a hero. Know what that means. I didn't even actually look at what they have. Well, I guess we can see here. Nothing special. No, nothing special at all. We'll just take the money and call it a day. Stone Tree has declared war on me. Where is that? Underground? Okay, well, I'm not concerned with that right now. Okay, man, I'm glad that purple invading force is gone. And out of all of that, all I lost was a scout and a berserker. I am perfectly okay with that trade-off because they lost like 30 units or something crazy. So I'm fine with that. I might be able to make a push on the outpost. No, good gosh, they're already bringing in more full stacks. Alright, I'm gonna get back to my outpost and heal, and then hopefully I'll be able to make a push on their outpost. Let's inspect them to see where that city is. Oh, there's a hostile city up north of Bram. Interesting. They're a vassal. Bram's army might be tied up in the west longer than I was originally thinking. Also, that would be the invading party, and it's a lot of awakeners, which can be actually really annoying. I think I can take them. I mean, I know I can. Are they in Arctic territory? No, they're in grassland forest. So it's not going to be Arctic unpleasantness that I have to deal with, at least. But now I've got yellow coming from the south, too. It just never ends. Every time I kill stuff, twice more shows up. Get down there. I gotta get everyone back to that outpost. Which shouldn't be a problem. Let's reform up our armies. How far can you guys move, just out of curiosity? Not too far, okay. Have Jormag's group sit on the outpost. Let's get Inquisitors in. And I'm just kind of trying to balance back out the armies. I would like one of my White Witches in with them. And what else would be a good balanced fit for a good army there? Probably just another Inquisitor or a Berserker. Or even an Archer, actually. Would be fine. Throw an Archer in with that group. Okay. Just trying to balance out the stacks is all. So I'll have you go here. Join forces with the Berserker. Get another White Witch. And Shaman. I know I have another White Witch out here somewhere. There we go. This Shaman. Every army needs a Shaman, so we'll put him here. And I'll throw the shield guy in with you guys, and then everybody else can pile onto this stack. So at least everybody's getting full healing now. Should be mostly topped off by the next turn. Well, except for a few. Within 2 turns, everybody will definitely be fully topped off. I just cannot seem to get purple off of me, no matter how many of their units I kill. It's insane. Alright, I think we can get another battle in on this episode. I want Bram's army to deal with these guys. Do you have anything good? Not really. I can't use that orb because it's fire damage. It's against the Jormag rules. I did get Flash Freeze researched. So that's handy. And may as well grab... Oh, Prelude of Doom would be good in combination with some of my other stuff. But Snow Spirits would also be pretty good. In combination with all my freezing stuff. I think I'm going to grab the Snow Spirits. Come on, there you go. Gold Spire declared war on me. Where are you at? Also way over in the corner. I don't know if Bram's army will bother going all the way over there. The annoying thing is that they'll probably send raiding parties after me. Just trying to raise all this stuff would be good. If I just get it out of my way. I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, okay, so Bram's army doesn't really have anything else to do besides intercept these guys. Because Jormag's army is not going to have time to deal with them with all the invasion that's happening down there. So Bram's army needs to deal with this now. We'll move up like this. Bram's army can move here. This should pull in everybody. I'll use the Inquisitor because he's got a little more movement. And we'll try an auto. I can't afford to take heavy damages, even if nobody dies. Yeah, we're going to have to redo that. Okay. See, the trick with these awakened magic battle mage people, whatever they are, I think they're just called awakeners, they have a pretty freaking good AoE, and you want to accommodate, or to account for that. So, it looks like the hero's getting a little excited. Is that a lightning? Okay, that's an AoE. There's just a lot of AoE in this battle, so we're definitely going to want to spread out, for sure. Or make sure that anyone... I think spreading out here is there's so much AoE, even trying to tank it by putting people around War Shamans is still not worth it. No, we need nice big spreads, no more than 2 units caught in any AoE. Actually, you go ahead and summon your elemental buddy, I think. Or no, maybe on the next turn. Guess I'll put you here, because I don't think the Awakeners can reach me yet. Now, ideally, if I can manage it, I would like to just bull rush them. And it looks like they may have given me an opportunity to do that. Dang. No freeze for me. Maybe a stun? I think I'm going to go for it and just rush them here. Okay, I landed that stun. I'm not sure which of those two I need or I want to hit yet, so I might hold off on that. I do want Bram's Elemental out now. I could pin down a lot of these units by coming out here and trying to stun that one. Got it. Okay, that's good. I want to rush you out and close the gap as much as possible. I just want you to get out in somebody's face, but I will hold off on that for a moment. I'd like to freeze that one on the edge. Got him. Okay. Maybe poison that one. See, now they can't use their big AoEs because they need all 3 action points to use that. So I'm trying to force them to have to move. Okay, I've got several freezes in there. I think this will be fine now. Now I want to focus a little more attention on that hero. Why don't you go ahead and just sunder his defense there? And I could throw a spell down, but I don't think I need it. Now, some of these guys could back up and still shoot at me. Oh, that one's stunned, so I don't need to worry about him. It's actually really only these two and the hero that can do anything. And the hero's in a terrible position. He's pinned by multiple units. I don't think the hero can do anything other than blink or do the stab attack. What are my odds of freezing the hero? 48. It's probably not good enough. This is another opportunity where I probably should have used mass condemnation, but we're gonna see if we can get by without it. I think I'm in a pretty good position to get by without it. I was really hoping they would go after the stone elemental, considering he's weak to spirit damage, but they're not being dumb enough. Now, I think this only applies to enemy units if I use that Quake attack. But I might just rather have him hit a single unit. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have him hit one person repeatedly for more damage. For some reason I have a 90 chance to hit this guy from there, but only... Oh, I guess it's because he's blocked by his buddy. Alright, that makes sense. I want the Berserker standing on the Lucky Clovers. Maybe something good will happen. Bram could summon a spider egg. That's just a tier 1 spider, though. It's honestly not that great. What are my odds of seducing? Not terrible. Why not? Nope, they are distracted. Okay, I need to get to that one in the back before they have a chance to do a good AoE. The hero's in a bad spot. I think they're about dead. Decent enough chance for you to hit targets from here. I think I can come pretty close to killing that one. Can I finish that hero off? Yes, it looks like I can. That'll do a nice morale hit to everybody. And leave me in a good position to try to poison and surround the remaining units. Okay, none of them are in a good position here. Let's just give my one shield guy that's gotten really beat up here, but everybody else is doing fine. You, sir, are being a pain and need to be tracked down. Stop moving around. The archers are just really some of my most reliable damage dealers. They've been incredible. Okay, feels good to have him out of here. That guy was a pain. Okay, once their lines break and they get scattered, they fall apart pretty quickly. That wasn't bad. My shield guy took quite a bit of a beating, but could be worse. I think at this point, I'm going to move everybody back with Bram. We'll spend one more turn guarding Astral Anchorage, and then we can move directly west to Seer Spire as soon as it's gone. I think that's kind of the plan.
Yeah.
We know Blizzard is ready to launch. Got another Heroes Remains. We're gonna sell those. Making probably more money off killing heroes than I am off of gold income lately. Doom Depth Trench is on the way. That's something I almost want to hurry production on, but I'm not going to. That's like half of my total gold reserves. I don't think it's worth it. We'll be patient. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next turn so we can kind of see how the enemy unit's set up. Probably need to wrap this up pretty soon, but I am curious, and I think I'm going to want you guys' advice depending on how things kind of look going forward. So let's see what the enemy does. I'm hoping yellow doesn't throw too much at me just yet. Okay, yellow's backing off, which probably means they'll return in greater numbers soon. Purple, though, on the other hand, has just been pushing and pushing and pushing. They want to run right up to me, okay. This is actually really good for me. Oh, I didn't see that army down there. Okay, they're attempting a siege. That is not good. Okay, purple has left a weakness. I mean, it's not good for them. Purple has left a weakness in their formation here. The problem is that unit has been standing on a tile that I've wanted them to stand on for a while now. They're in a swamp where units will run through water and get wet, making freezes more likely to succeed. I can very easily attack that stack with pretty much anybody and get a favorable battle, break this siege, and then probably make a push on this outpost over here. Because I could just move straight east, pull everybody in, nice and easy. I also finished destroying this, so my mana income is doing much better. Actually, did I have this on the last? No, I just got a bunch of mana from sieging the city itself. I need to get this Frostling race transformation up and then start making use of Flash Freeze. So I'm going to start channeling that now before I forget about it. Bram's army basically has now a clear shot to move west. Jormag's army has effectively a clear shot to move east. So, depending on what yellow does, who is kind of the wild card right now, I think I'm in pretty good shape. Also, I do need to order up another unit. I found the Inquisitors to be extremely good, so I'm going to grab another one of those. And continue adding more units down this way. I'm going to split. I'm not sure where I want her to go yet, so I'm going to split her off for the moment. And we'll pick up on that with her on the next episode, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to save this battle till next time, guys. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I suspect this one should be fairly favorable to me. Plus, we can take out yet one more hero. What are we going to get here? Glob the Philosopher. He's got some nice looking stuff. 2 status resistance on that ring, 2 defense on the Juggernaut Greaves. Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. A lot of good stuff. All right, I'm looking forward to the next episode, but I think we're going to have to call it here for this one. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the episode, despite my probably funny sounding voice and stuffy nose. I will be back next week to record some more. In the meantime, Agatha's series is also continuing alongside this one. That's all the pre-recorded one. Hope you guys are enjoying that one as well, as it kind of draws closer to a conclusion. Yeah, that's all there is to it this week, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Special thanks to all my Patreon supporters, including Tier 3 supporters Blitz, Braden, Dawson Horner, Jimbro, Roderick, Sarah Feingold, and Tibian Army. Thanks so much, everybody.